Hi, I'm Ernie Zorn. I'm the voice of this Puritas Springs video, which is the 20th in Puritas Springs Software's Frequently Asked Questions series. Now, with laptops outselling desktops, it's obvious that you and I are buying these things, and there's a reason for it. They're great little devices. Great, yes, but if I was going to say one negative thing about laptops, it's that when you really want to grind out some work and do some typing or browsing, they can fall short. I'll tell you why I think that, and while I'm complaining about it, let me say I also don't like the trackpad too much. Not just on this laptop that you're going to see, but on all of them. They're all positioned similarly anyway, and you'll see what I'm talking about in the next couple stills. What happens is that I find my thumbs tend to lightly touch the pad, and unintended things happen, like relocating your cursor in a document right while you're typing. Messes occur. Anyway, aside from the mouse pad, the fact is that the chiclet style keyboards just don't cut it for a touch typist. It's like a cheap guitar versus an expensive one. Sure, a really good player can sound good on both, but he's going to be doing his best on an expensive one. And a good keyboard is always better than a chiclet style keyboard. I suppose if you're a hunter or a pecker, then maybe the keyboard isn't so important. But if you're a real typist, you want a full-size keyboard with full travel sculpted keys. Next, when it comes to browsing, bigger is better. Nothing more needs to be said about that. You should know that. So we all have laptops, but every once in a while, it's convenient to temporarily convert your laptop into a desktop. And that's what this video is all about. Incidentally, I'm the proud owner of the table you see there. It's a replica of a Civil War table that officers used to carry in their supply wagons when they needed a place for map reading or writing. It's like an oversized TV tray. It's a mini desk with folding legs that lock into place. No nails, no springs, an ingenious little piece of furniture. Why is this picture in there? Well, because the first thing you need is a place to perform the conversion, and this is the place to work. This is my place to work. In this photo, I'm going to move to the next photo here. You'll see my laptop. It's an HP Pavilion with a 17.3-inch screen. Now, size was more important to me when I was buying my computer than weight was. And this was one of the biggest notebooks out there. Big as it is, it still shares the three drawbacks of laptops. If I'm doing serious workstation, I want a larger screen, a better keyboard, and a separate mouse instead of a scratch pad, which sounds like something a cat would be interested in. Incidentally, trivia quiz. A cat whose name is Graybeard inconspicuously sidled his way into two of these photos. Do cats sidle? Can a cat be said to sidle? I confess I don't know. Anyway, you'll win a big prize if you can pick the two photos that have the cat in them. Operators are on duty. Take your calls right now. This offer is void where prohibited by law, and batteries are not included. Okay, with that out of the way, to start this project, which took less than an hour, by the way, make sure your computer is off. First thing, the mouse. Where's the mouse? I don't see the mouse. There's the mouse. The mouse you see here is wireless. And I had it in the lab because I always keep a spare one around anyway. If you wanted to buy a new one, a new wireless one cost about $9 on Amazon. One thing I like about this makeover is that I don't need to fool around with software or configuration settings. I plug it in, I turn on the computer, and laptop, monitor, everything is recognized and connects automatically. So that works pretty good with the mouse, or I'm hoping it will anyway. Okay, the next thing we need, we're kind of going down an equipment list here. HDMI cable. A 3-foot cable is probably all you need, but somehow I got a really good deal on a 20-foot one, and so that overkill cable is what you see there in the picture. Incidentally, I've heard it said about cords that you shouldn't buy these expensive gold-plated cables that they try to sell you at some of the walk-in stores. Consumer tests have shown that they don't really work any better than the cheap ones. I've had this oversized cheapy demo for several years. I've never had a problem, knock on wood. You can buy a 3-foot cable at Amazon for $5.99. There is my wired Microsoft keyboard. Now, of course, a wireless one would work just as well, and you'd connect it just like I'm going to show you I do with the wireless mouse. In keeping with lab scrap philosophy, however, this keyboard was from a computer that died. And although there's nothing wrong with the keyboard, well, no, I should say, although there's nothing wrong with the keyboard, so we kept it around. So we got rid of the computer, kept the keyboard. I dusted it off, and now the one thing we need more is a monitor. And like everything so far, I found an old monitor lying around. It's a white Dell, and you'll see it in a moment as I start connecting things together. But first, I guess we're going to take a look at this little stub. If you can imagine, this picture is being taken from the top right down toward the table, and it's magnified pretty big, but it's what I mentioned about the mouse. It's a wireless mouse, so you have to put like a transmitter into the, it fits into the USB port. It's just a little stub, and you can see it there. It's no bigger than your thumb. I wish the contrast were better, but you may be familiar with how these things work anyway. Anyway, the big thing is the way the manufacturer finds these devious ways to hide the transmitter either in the packaging or inside the mouse. So when you buy it, try not to pull your hair out when you're looking for, hey, where the hell did they put the transmitter? Anyway, all right, the next picture we're going to, there's the PC connection. That's that 17-inch HP Pavilion. You can see that I've plugged in two things, the keyboard, which is the smaller plug, and the monitor, which is the blue plug. You should be familiar with the blue plug. It's the same one that's connected monitors for the last 20 years or more. Sure, you're too young to remember something like that, but still, you're wondering, though, where's the HDMI cord he showed us earlier? I know I saw an HDMI cord, and I think it was in photo 4. Well, okay, you caught me. My defense is that things don't always go as smoothly as we would like here in the lab, and so the first problem that occurred was the old TV that I'd picked out didn't work. Luckily, I found a Dell monitor that I don't recall ever buying, but nonetheless, it was here in the lab, and you'll see it soon enough. So the point is, the Dell monitor didn't have an HDMI plug. All it had was the old style monitor video plug. So I had one of those cords laying around, and that's that blue one. If you've had anything to do, if you've ever put a computer together, that's the cord that connected your monitor probably. It's that big blue thing with the two screw handles on the end of it. Well, okay, wait, that's enough. Two more. Well, no, it's not enough. Two more things I want to say about plugs. First, remember that there could actually be one more plug in here if I had a wired mouse instead of a wireless mouse. And two, in the long run, you don't really have to worry too much about these plugs and the receptacles because they're either USB type or they're specific to the plug type, like the video cable here. So you almost can't make a mistake because a wrong plug usually will not fit in the wrong socket. Okay, moving right along. Okay, this is just a quick shot. This is that white Dell monitor I was telling you about. It's the final link in the equipment chain. So what you're seeing is the back of it, and you'll notice that there's a video plug, and that only fits in one receptacle. You can't get it wrong. And the power cord on the left, which, again, only fits in one receptacle. You can't get it wrong. There it is. That's everything, how everything looks together from the front. And in the same picture here, with some of the extraneous garbage removed, this is with everything turned on. And the beauty of the arrangement, again, was that I didn't need to know anything about computers. I just plugged the stuff together. Note that the notebook being compared here, it's a bit big. It's a 17.3 inch. The smaller your laptop is, the more dramatic the improvement's going to be. But even still, you might not be able to tell from the photo, but the 17 inch is actually dwarfed by this 23-inch monitor, the Dell monitor. So if I had a long stint and I was going to do a lot of word processing and document editing and things like that, bigger is better. It's going to look better on the bigger monitor. That's simple. Okay, let's see. What else was I going to say? The bottom line is that this DIY docking station makes word processing and data entry a lot easier because of the better keyboard, the better mouse, and the larger monitor. This whole procedure took me probably less than an hour, and I had to locate the parts. I plugged in the bad monitor. I had to take that back out and try a different one. So if I had it all connected like I do now, and I was taking the laptop to my office and coming back and plugging it back into an existing setup, I doubt if it would take 2 minutes to connect the thing, because the rest, once you turn everything on, is automatic. Well, you know what time it is. That's it. So here's what I'd like to know. Who's been computing for 10 years and doesn't have 1 or 2 dead computers in their closet? That's what I thought. Nobody. Therefore, it's pretty cool that I was able to cobble this system together on the spur of the moment using parts that you've probably got hanging around somewhere. This is how much planning went into this video. Hey, let's do the video. Oh, okay. That was it, really. That was the whole whatever. That was the whole, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Anyway, that was the whole shooting match. The final announcement. I've decided that lest I get too rich from sales of my book, Law Office Computing, I'm not going to mention anymore that you can get the ebook at Amazon for only $9 and the paperback for only $12. On a more serious note, I'd like to thank you for tuning in, and I hope that you enjoyed watching this video half as much as I enjoyed making it. I hope to release another one very soon, so keep in touch. You can do that by subscribing to our email list at www.puritas-springs.com. And oh, one last thing. If you get an idea and you think, golly, I wish they'd do a video about, hold that thought and let me know what you'd like to see a video about, because you may just find yourself being the inspiration for a new YouTube video. Wouldn't that be cool? You can let me know at Ernie@Puritas-springs.com. Truthfully, I had a swell time making this video, and I got to thank you for making it possible. Until next time, I'll be looking for you, and I sincerely wish you all the best, so take care.